As the pale, ethereal light of a winter dawn descends upon the ancient city of Moscow, a heavy blanket of pure white snow gently settles upon the landscape. It dusts the golden onion domes of the cathedrals, making them glow with a soft, spiritual fire against the gray morning sky. Standing proudly on the crest of Borovitsky Hill, the Grand Kremlin Palace slowly awakens from its slumber behind the formidable, crimson brick walls that have guarded it for centuries. This is not merely a building of stone and mortar. This is the beating heart of an entire nation, a sacred place where the deep pulse of history has never once ceased to beat. Listen closely. Can you hear it? The deep, resonant chimes from the Spassky Tower begin to echo through the frosty air. They signal not just the passing of time, but the beginning of a new day in this eternal timeline. Below, the Moskva River flows lethargically, its dark, icy waters reflecting the majestic silhouette of the palace, acting as a giant, moving mirror for the past. The guards in their ceremonial dress uniforms stand frozen in attention, like statues carved from discipline. Their warm breath turns into thin ribbons of mist, vanishing instantly into the biting cold air of the Russian winter. Slowly, majestically, the heavy oak doors begin to creak open. They invite us to step out of the cold and into a world of blinding gold and profound mystery. A world where every brick, every woven carpet, and every crystal prism is soaked in centuries of stories about absolute power and fleeting glory. Let us turn back the pages of time to the year 1837. It was then that Tsar Nicholas I commanded the construction of this masterpiece. He entrusted this monumental task to the visionary architect, Konstantin Thon. The Tsar's vision was clear and absolute. He wanted to create a symbol for the greatness of a new Russia, a structure that could rival, and perhaps surpass, the grandeur of any royal palace in Western Europe. And indeed, they succeeded. With a facade stretching an impressive 125 meters, the palace appears like a colossal block of white marble, reigning supreme atop the hill, looking down upon the world with an unblinking gaze. As we step inside, the sheer scale of the grand staircase takes our breath away. Carved from the finest Revel marble, these vast steps seem to ascend endlessly toward the heavens. They lead us up toward the great halls, where natural light floods in through soaring glass domes, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air like tiny stars. There is a perfect, almost divine symmetry in this design. It creates a sense of overwhelming solemnity and order, mirroring the strict, disciplined character of the Tsar who built it. Every detail carved into the high ceilings, every complex geometric pattern on the wooden floors, was calculated with mathematical precision to honor the eternity of the dynasty. Nothing here is accidental. Every stone speaks of authority. The most unique feature of the Grand Kremlin Palace is its system of 5 great halls. Each one is named after one of the highest military orders of the Russian Empire, creating a physical map of honor. First, and perhaps the most magnificent, is the Hall of St. George. Look around you. A blinding, pure white color dominates this immense space, symbolizing purity and sacrifice. It feels limitless, like a cathedral made of light and clouds. On these marble walls, etched in gold letters, are the names of over 10,000 officers and heroic military units. This is a sanctuary of courage. Imagine the victory banquets held here, under the warm, living glow of 3,000 candles burning in the massive crystal chandeliers above. Next, we enter the Hall of St. Andrew. This is the very heart of the monarchy, for the Tsar's throne was placed here, under the watchful eye of the Providence. The walls are draped in the shimmering blue silk of the Order of St. Andrew. This blue, combined with the brilliant gold columns, creates a space that feels both sacred and regal, bridging the gap between the earthly ruler and the divine. Look down at your feet. The floor is a masterpiece in itself, laid from 20 different types of rare wood. They form intricate floral patterns, beautiful and delicate, like a woven tapestry made of timber. And finally, we cannot forget the Malachite room. Here, the deep, emerald green of Russian malachite stone creates a stunning, almost hypnotic contrast with the heavy gold leaf. Tons of this precious gemstone were mined from the Ural Mountains to decorate the fireplaces and columns. It is a level of luxury that made the entire world take off its hat in respect. And perhaps, in envy. But, behind this blinding splendor, lies the crushing weight of the crown. Close your eyes and imagine Tsar Nicholas II. He is standing alone by a tall window, looking out at the vast square below, where his people gather. The thick walls of the Kremlin were built to protect the Romanovs. But sometimes, these very walls turned this palace into a lonely, gilded cage. In these long, endless corridors, the sound of footsteps echoes, solitary, hollow, and haunting. Decisions that changed the fate of millions of people were made in the silence of these secluded rooms. The immense pressure of maintaining a sprawling empire. The turbulent winds of changing times. It all crept into the sleepless nights of the royal family, heavier than the velvet drapes. A letter dropped carelessly on a desk. An anxious glance shared between the Tsar and the Empress. No matter how brilliant the palace shines, it could not stop the harsh, cold flow of history. When night falls, and the candles flicker in the Hall of St. Vladimir, even their golden light cannot dispel the lingering sadness of partings, and the long shadow of the collapse that was drawing near. Time passes like the river outside, indifferent and unstoppable. The storms of revolution and war have swept through Russia, changing everything in their path. But the Grand Kremlin Palace, it still stands. Resilient, unyielding, proud. From the residence of the Tsars, it has transformed into the symbol of the state, the stage for the nation's most important ceremonies. Today, these rooms are preserved almost exactly as they were in the Golden Age. They serve as a living museum of art, history, and memory. Visitors walk softly on the red carpets, lowering their voices in reverence. They gaze in awe at the timeless beauty created by the artisans of old. As the sunset descends, painting the Moskva River in shades of crimson and purple, the palace glows like a precious jewel in the center of the capital, defying the darkness of the night. It reminds us of the power of beauty. It reminds us of the endurance of culture, surviving through every rise and fall. The Kremlin is not just bricks and gold. It is the soul of Russia. Mysterious, profound, and full of pride. Thank you for walking with us on this journey through the corridors of time. We hope this moment of reflection has brought you peace and inspiration. If you loved this journey, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Join us again, as we turn the page to the next masterpiece of history. Until we meet again, within the open pages of the past.